Welcome to the Rusted Garden Homestead. This video is all about growing super hot peppers like ghost peppers, scorpion peppers, anything that's like a million Scoville. Something that I love to grow. I don't eat them, they're way too hot, but I like growing them, I give them away. What I found about the super hots is they really like the warm weather and they don't really take off in my area. I'm in Maryland Zone 7 until we get into later July when the heat is really getting there. So what I want to do is warm up this section. These are sunken containers. These are about 7 gallons. The bottoms are cut out. I'll be doing videos on how to set this up. It's a great way to put your resources right in a hole. The peppers grow into the ground. You can contain them, save money, feed them. They do really, really well. But even here in Maryland, they take a while to get going. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this right into here. I built this a couple years ago. I will link the video in the video description that shows you how to build this. This is a cold frame. It's been in another part of my yard. I don't use it for much as I have different cold frames in a greenhouse now. I'm going to move this, put it right over those containers, put the top on at night, because what's really needed for these super hots to take off is warmer soil. They like just really warm roots, warm days, and as it gets hotter, the roots warm up, the peppers take off. So I'm going to use this in May and even June to really keep these peppers extra hot. While the other peppers seem to do fine, if I plant them now out in the garden, they grow, they take off. The super hots sort of just kind of sit there. So I'm going to set this up. I'll show you how I do it. Well, that was a bit of work. Good thing that I did it off camera, because if you wanted to ever hear the rusted gardener curse, try lugging something this big through the garden. However, it fits perfectly right in this space. All 5 of the sunken containers, and I'll be able to put the top on here. It will keep it warm. Now, you don't need something this elaborate, but you want to really warm up the soil of your super hots even when the temperatures are warmer. Even though it's getting into the 70s and 80s soon, the other peppers again will do fine. These guys like more heat. So let me clean this up and I'll talk to you about how I set up these sunken containers. Please subscribe. I'll be doing a whole video on how I set these up, how I use them when I set up the ones right over there. All right, let me catch my breath and we'll get this all set up. Here's the basic setup. I left the shovels in so you could get a sense of how big the containers are. Any size container really works, and you're cutting out at least, a third to a half of the bottom so the root systems grow down there. You could do this for really any pepper plant. Maybe you're in a zone where it stays cooler for longer, winter really rolls in quickly, so you want to use something like this. Heat up the soil more, get them growing more quickly. That's what I want to do for the super hots. Setup is pretty simple with these sunken containers. Any organic granular fertilizer, I have plenty of videos on it, just one big handful. Anything that has N, P, and K represented, they're all pretty much the same. Throw it into the bottom. A bunch of compost, it could be your own compost, could be well composted down manure, could be leaf mold, whatever you want to use, just throw it in there. And then you mix it through. I mean, the soil looks wonderful. Leave some space up top because we're going to mulch on top of there. But that's all I'm going to do for the setup. The super hots are going to go in now with the other peppers this week. And then I'll be putting the top on here at night, keep it warmer. If the day is probably in the 60s, I'm going to leave it on here. I really want to heat up this space, specifically the soil. I want to get it into that 80-degree range, 90-degree range where they really love, because they really love the heat. And we're not trying to heat this, down 2 feet. That's almost impossible. We're just trying to heat that top 4-6 inches where the roots are staying, and that will help the plant really start to take off and grow a lot more of the greenery and get larger. All right, let me finish setting it up and put in a couple of my super hots. Just real quick, we're in my greenhouse, and these peppers are all planted at the same time. These are, somewhat hot, some sweet peppers in there, but look how small the habanero reds are, the ghost pepper, really small. Again, right over there, the bigger peppers aren't super hots, and those are the ghost peppers. They just grow more slowly, and they really love the heat. So I think this setup is going to really help them get bigger and start producing sooner so I can get harvests much earlier. This has been sitting and not getting a lot of use. So it's dirty, it's got to be cleaned up so it, works better. But this will go on at night, go on during the day if the temperatures aren't what I want them to be. Habanero, it's going to be on this side because behind me is my southern, western sun, south, west. Smaller pepper, even when it's growing well. Don't want it to be blocked out by the ghost pepper. I also put 2 peppers per planting hole. I've been doing that for years. Very effective, really doubles your production. So this is my setup to really bring the heat to the super hots, literally, so that they grow more quickly, get larger, and I can start harvesting sooner. Sometimes these don't really get going to the end of August, and then I have the cool weather rolling in. So I would love to have these producing much earlier and just have a longer season of giving away the super hot peppers. Thanks so much for watching. Please check out my seed shop at therustedgarden.com, and please subscribe. I'll show you how I take care of these peppers, set up the sunken container planters right over there, and just show you in general how I take care of my entire garden. Thanks for watching.